welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather. I'm sure you can hear that I have the canner going. There's 7 quarts of rabbit in there, and then I've just boiled and deboned another 2 rabbits. We are having some people over tomorrow. Actually, several people are coming to pick up their goats, and so I want to go outside and give you guys some of the last looks that we'll have of the Nigerian dwarves. Pretty much all of them are going home tomorrow, and honestly, it's super bittersweet. I'm not gonna cry. Anyway, sometimes I don't have the energy to cook when I'm having a lot of people over, but somehow I had the energy this time, and so I'm not doing anything super fancy, but we're gonna have a rabbit salad, which is exactly like chicken salad. So I've got this all shredded up, and I'm actually gonna make my own mayonnaise to add to this, and then we'll put in some fixins to dress it up. And by the time we're done with this, the canner will be done, and then we can cry outside. If you have never made your own mayonnaise before, it's pretty simple. I just add a cup of oil to the jar. You want to have a neutral flavor oil if that's your preference. I don't necessarily prefer olive oil, but that's what I have. 1 egg, a pinch of salt, and then a pinch of mustard powder. You could also just put a squirt of regular mustard in there too. And then this is the important part. You want to go slow, but insert the immersion blender and just gently tap it to start to emulsify that egg and oil. And then once that emulsification starts to happen, you'll notice that it'll look like mayonnaise is forming in the jar. That's because it is, but we're gonna roll it around slowly and slowly incorporate all of the oil. Good and thick. Beautiful. I'm actually gonna put all of it in here. This here is the last of some relish that I made in 2020. And I love these jars. These are called weck jars, and to open them you just pull this little tab here. I don't know if you heard that over the canner, but the seal was broken. You're gonna drain a lot of the liquid off of this. I don't want that in my salad. We're gonna use lots of farm dust seasoning. There's quite a bit of flaky salt and other goodness in here. Does anyone else have Gordon Ramsay haunt them while they cook? I always have a Gordon Ramsay in my head reminding me to taste what I have put together to make sure that it is adequately salted. Homemade bread, homemade goat cheese. It's gonna be a good lunch tomorrow. This here are the leftover bones from the rabbit that I boiled. I am going to stick those in my bone broth bag because even though I have cooked this rabbit and I've saved back some broth from cooking the rabbit, these are far from all used up. You know that a bone has given you all it can when you can snap it really easily. There's a lot of vitality and goodness left in these bones, and so we will put this in the bone broth bag. And as you can tell, there are some little bits of meat in here. I am trying to not serve a whole bunch of bones in my rabbit. If you've eaten rabbit before, you know that it's hard to get all the bones out of the rabbit when you're deboning it. When I make my broth, I actually feed the excess to my chickens, and so they will get this protein eventually. This goes in the freezer until we're ready. Well, hello. That's Elpis' little boy. Hi, sir. Huh? Fable. Look at her go. Wow. There's Spunky. Spunky's going home tomorrow. Maple, she's going home on Sunday. Come over here, pretty girl. Yes. Oh, I should have brought you a cookie. I did not. That's okay. me, girl. Wanna say bye? This is probably the one I'm the most sad about. Yeah, Aunt Stormy's going. And they're going to 2 separate homes, but Stormy's actually going home with Winnie. There's our Winnie. Sweet girl. And then there's Little Miss. Here's Tatanka. She's gonna stay with me. Nefarious is gonna go with Spunky and Lil Miss to his new home. I think Mooch was gonna leave this weekend, but his people need to get their barn built, so he's gonna hang out for a little while longer, I think. And then Mochi, our resident weather, he's gonna stay here with us. But all the other Nigis, they're gonna go. And those of you who are familiar with our herd, you've got Margie, who a lot of people think is a Nigerian dwarf. She's not. She's mini Oberhasli, and she is also gonna stay. I think it was this past, maybe it was during Vlogmas, I talked about how I was gonna sell all my Nigerian dwarves. And the reason is not because they're not good goats. They are great goats, actually. But I want to focus down on the mini La Manchas. I really like winter milk, which is why I had kept the Nigerian dwarves for so long. The Nigis are polyestrous, which means that they go into heat year round. And so I can breed them in springtime, which is out of season for the La Manchas and mini La Manchas. And with that, they're kidding in October and I get winter milk. I really like winter milk because I'm doing a lot of baking. There's eggnog and just, you know, your general milk needs. We still need them over the winter. And so I like to be in milk all the time. I like to be in fresh milk all the time. But I'm noticing that with some of my mini La Manchas, they actually can withstand a pretty good lactation. So I'm going to be taking some of them into an extended lactation, as well as starting to experiment with breeding them out of season by using devices like seeders. And we will get into that at a later date. Yeah, I'm coming in here. I think Lufa's upset she didn't get the milk today. No, I used the milk today. I made some cheese. I did. She's gonna eat my finger instead. This time of year is so busy with the garden that it is such a relief to have a place to put the milk. We're getting about 2 gallons a day right now, which is a lot. That's 14 gallons a week. And we do a lot with our milk, but I can't necessarily, number one, chill 14 gallons every week, but also process 14 gallons every week. Once, like the garden is pretty much planted at this point, and once we really get into the groove of the growing season, especially when we're just waiting for the plants to grow and there's really not a lot to preserve and harvest, I'll be dealing with the milk a lot more. But it has been an amazing blessing to have the pigs and have somewhere for that milk to go. Lufa, you're getting huge too. She's growing so fast. So fast. Oof, you're kind of scary though. You're kind of scary. Don't get your head stuck, girl. Where did Nefarious go? We did not get a proper goodbye. Come here, sir. Come here, handsome boy. Yes. Sad about him going too. We've got some daughters of his and Ruckus, actually, wherever Ruckus went. Rucky! He's got his head in the minerals. Ruckus is out of Nefarious. Hey, dude. So we've got his genetics romping around here. Yes, yes, Feral. You're not going anywhere. Feral is a lifer. There are some goats that I just have too much of a heart connection to ever let them leave. So all of Feral's fans, you do not need to worry. He's gonna stay forever and ever. Yesterday, 2 of our little weaners in here had some loose stools, and it looks like it's probably cleared up at this point. Yeah, your back end looks a lot better. So I think you're good. Biscuit was the other one that had some looser stools, and his back end looks good too. 'Tis the season for Coccidia. I did notice that one of Elpis's has a yucky bum, and so I've got to grab her treatment. Last year, all of the baby goats had the Coccidia symptoms. All goats will be exposed to Coccidia throughout their lifetime. A lot of people will treat every few weeks just as like a preventative measure when the babies are little. That's a lot easier when you're bottle feeding. But also I'm a little bit nervous about breeding resistance in the Coccidia if I do something like that. So I have a different approach. I'll just treat as I see symptoms, and I will keep close watch of the babies. And so far, I guess with the kids from yesterday and with Goosey, who we've got to catch and treat, 5 out of the 22 babies will have needed Coccidia treatment before 8 weeks old. And so, I mean, I feel like things are improving. This has also been a very dry year. We're losing light because the sun is going down, but I'm just going to check her Famacha score to make sure that the Coccidia doesn't have an upper hand. I don't think that it does, but if you see a real pale Famacha with a poopy butt, it's definitely reason to be concerned. Here, honey, can we show him? Yes, you're good. Let's show him. Hard to see probably, but she's good and red in there. So we've caught it in time. You're gonna be all right because I've got you in here. I'm gonna give you your copper, okay? You showing him how pretty you are? Is she pretty? Oh, good girl. You did it. Hey, pretty girl. Hello. I've got a little bit of tattoo ink on me. We tattooed Maple this morning, and Maple just went home. I think it was 7 goats that left this weekend. It's bittersweet, like I talked about. We've got more room in the barn and a lot more room in the herd to kind of make it what we want to. The herd is a work in progress, and it's probably always going to be like that. But we did get 2 new animals as of this weekend. Some of it as part of trades for some goats that we're letting go of. This here is a brand new silver fox doe that one of our subscribers brought us when they came to pick up their goats. She's so cute. We're naming her Penelope. I picked her because of her markings. Like, her coloration is just gorgeous. So much of that white flecking that comes in on the silver foxes, and I just love her. So now we have 3 does and 1 buck as far as our silver foxes goes, and we're gonna slowly be working out of the Californians. I think when push comes to shove, we'll still have our pretty bunnies, you know, our mutts here, like Little Miss Promptly, and Sausage, who is in here with some babies that are probably close to weaning age for sure. But I think the only Californian I'm planning on keeping, at least for a little while, is Bow right here. She's younger, and I'm interested to see the hybrid kits that she has, which I think they're due at the end of this week. Can you hear that little sad voice? You guys noticing anything different in the wiener pen right now? There's a long set of ears over here. Hi, sir. How are you? I said this last year when my friend Megan brought me some mini Nubians. Do not get too attached. This is an animal that's going in our meat program. Actually, his mama has 4 teats, which goats should only have 2, huh? So he's definitely not breeder quality. But he's gonna have a fun life out here eating grass. He'll go in our freezer in October. Isn't he cute though? He's a handsome boy. Yes, and he's sweet. We do not mind it if our meat goats are sweet. It's actually kind of nice for them to have a nice personality, because then up until their last day, they're just having a good life. They're never scared, to include that very last moment. They don't have any fear, and that's nice. Let's see how bare it looks in here. We've got our Margie, of course. She's a mini Ober, but I think as far as ears go, these are the only ears that we have in the barn right now. I forgot about AJ. He's still here. Yeah, I've got long ears. Yes, I do. He'll be going home in a couple weeks. Oh, you hear him screaming. Sounds like a pterodactyl. His little voice is so hoarse. But yeah, this is what we've got, guys. There are some little babies that will get weaned off of mamas in the next couple of weeks. But the herd looks pretty small. I think some of them are probably outside. Where's Alpus? Oh, there's Goosey. Yeah. We got Tizzy, Alpus, and Silly Goose. Wow, she's feeling better. Look at her go. Hey, sweet thing. Hey, sweet thing. You're okay. Gracious. Oh, Tatanka. Look at what her hair is doing. It's interesting. I can't tell what I think is going on here. It sort of looks like she has a little bit of that down that the goats get for winter, but it's not. Like the tip, hold on. It's honestly like her hair color is different. It's like it's bleaching out at the roots, and she still has that like chocolate coloring that she was born with, but it's like it's growing in lighter. Isn't that weird? It's not cashmere. Very interesting. And then of course we've got us a Fable. Fable is still kind of skittish if I'm not sitting down. So I'll grab a bucket for poor Fable that can't handle me while I'm standing. Listen to him. Oh, what a sad baby he is. Here comes Fable. Hey girl. You wanna come get in my lap? Yeah. It's been kind of the theme of the babies this year to be a little bit skittish unless I'm sitting. Very interesting. Except for Tatanka. She's always been super friendly, and so is Fable. But again, I have to be seated or else she's scared for some reason. She did. I was trying to give Fable. This works too though, huh? Oh, they're getting really big. Super big, yes you are. So out of the 5 does that were born this spring cating season, I have kept 4. And these 2 are the most friendly. Elpis had triplets, 1 boy and 2 does. They're actually back here. Stella is a little bit more friendly than Goosey, but both of them still need a little bit more work. They're not as friendly as these 2. But that's okay. I have a feeling that as our herd has pared down and when we get to wean some of the other boys out of here and it's just the girls and all the other friendly mamas and things, those 2 will come around. One thing that I did notice when the barn was very full is that we were going through about 2 bags a day of alfalfa pellets. Our alfalfa feeders right there. It's 2 like little giant chicken feeders that we use to feed the free choice alfalfa pellet. And as these babies grew, they really started eating the alfalfa pellets down. So it's gonna be nice in that aspect too to have more goats out of the barn. Hello, yes. Hello, AJ. Whoop. Sir. This is what it's like trying to do anything past Tatanka. She's hard to get past. Yes. You're really not much better. This is my view most of the time. Just getting chewed on. So anyway, in my efforts to rid the barn of the alfalfa eaters, I did stick President Snow and Kato out with the big boys. So I literally just picked them up and dropped them over the fence, because this is where the girl pen and the buck pen come together. This set of gates here and then that whole fence line they share. Hi, how are you guys doing? You're not really happy with this arrangement, are you? No, so these are 2 more of our meat goats, and when I do throw babies over this fence, I like to give them a little bit of water because this is a pretty big area for them and they do have a really nice water trough, but it's sort of far away. And when they're used to being on this side and knowing where the water is over here, I don't want them to have to hunt, you know, 3.5 acres to try to find the water. So we've got a bucket of water here, and I did see them actually over at the other water today, so they do know where it is. I had stuck Margie's babies in here hoping that she would nurse them, but she didn't. Is there a fly bugging you, girl? 'Tis the season. We're actually coming up on breeding season for my fall kidders and my fall milkers. Margie is one of them. I think Margie right now is the only one that's going to be AI'd. I had talked about my friend Corey possibly coming to AI 3 of our does. He's just gonna AI 1 because the other 2 are gonna be first fresheners, and apparently the success rate with first fresheners with AI is really low. But these 2, Gale and Helicity, they will be first fresheners this fall. Mini Lamantas, in my experience and in the experience of those that I have spoken to, they are not polyestrous. So they are seasonal breeders, but I am going to put cedars in them to help bring them into season, out of season, and I am going to put one of our bucks over them. And that is going to be very exciting to have you guys come into fall milk. Oh, there we go, Fable. See, I'm not so bad when I'm standing. Yeah. Sweet girl. How's it going? Hey, cutie. Oh, this is the camera. Oh, gracious, that scream. Give it a rest, buddy. I think Levi said he sounds like a Dementor. Listen to him. He'll be all right. He just got weaned off of Mama. Yeah, see? Come on. Let's go walk over to the other water. Come here. See, we got tons of grass out here. There's lots of clover coming up too. It's nice out here. Here. See? Literally this morning is when I filmed the garden tour that y'all saw on Tuesday, and while we were walking up the lane this morning, there really wasn't a lot that had sprouted. I'll tell you, every single bed has sprouts popping out of it now. Look here, they weren't there this morning. So those are the patty pans. These here are the spaghetti squash. This is a tromboncino. Look at it. There was nothing this morning. I mean, just a few hours ago. The autumn frost squash, the gherkins, they've come up. And then yeah, more Kentucky Wonder pole beans. They've come up too. So isn't that funny? I had hoped that they all would have sprouted in time for me to do the garden tour, but no, they were a little shy this morning. Yeah, you boys will be all right. You're gonna have a great summer out here with Dad. Turkey's trying to jump out. Okay, let's get him in there, brooder. Garden bed turned brooder. Is that what we want to do? Oh, we got a cochin? Fluffy kitty, right? How cute. Oh, they're all so lively. They shipped from Missouri yesterday, and we got them today, which is excellent. They all look really good. I actually didn't count the chickens as we were putting them in, but I can count them while I'm editing. We had ordered 15 of a random assortment of colorful layers as far as chickens go, 3 ducks and 3 turkeys, and they actually sent us 4 ducks and 4 turkeys, and so that's awesome. Looks like that duck has figured the food out. I do have this thing that will help keep them out of the food, but I find that if you have the food a little bit more open when they're babies, they learn how to eat it a little bit better. And sometimes even if you sprinkle this out against, you know, the dark towel, they learn how to eat a little bit faster that way too. Usually once one starts eating or drinking, they'll teach the others how to do it too. Now, it is true that ducks, turkeys, and chickens do have different needs as far as their food goes. What I'm starting them out on is this flock raiser right here. The main problem that ducks can have is if they don't have enough niacin, they can have what's called angel wing, where their wings will grow out in a weird way. This flock raiser should be pretty balanced for all of them. In the past, when we've had ducklings and we've had turkeys, we've just put them all on chicken food. Not ideal, but in the past, our birds have all done well. This is a little bit more balanced for the mixed flock though. Right now, they only have access to half the brooder so that they can sort of learn where the heat is, where the water is, where the food is. Once they get a good grasp of that, I can open up the whole thing to them.
That one's drinking it. They're dumb.
What do you think, Addie?
They're cute.
Addie's my bird lady.
I like the ducks.
The ducks are adorable. I can't remember the breed of duck, but I'll put that down here. I had ordered the duck specifically for the number of eggs that they lay every year and how hardy they are. The turkeys are broad-breasted whites, and we plan to process them by Thanksgiving time. And the chickens, they're going to be our new egg-laying flock. It's been a few years since we refreshed our flock. We've lost, one or two every year, so our flock numbers have dwindled. Usually by now I'm like drowning in eggs, and I think I might be getting 4 or 5 every day. We're definitely due for a refresh. How you doing, peepers? You guys need a water refresh? I took the rocks out of here. The ducklings were having a hard time doing what they need to do in order to eat. Ducks will eat their food and then immediately kind of swish it around in the water to soften it and knock it back, and they were having some struggles. So I took the rocks out, and it seems like everybody's doing okay. I also put some of the larger flake shavings in here because this is a lot of birds and they're doing a lot of pooping, and there's really was nothing to counteract the nitrogen in their poop. But the shavings definitely help with that. Look at that cute little ducky. Gosh, everybody's doing great. Nice and lively. I'll probably give them another day or so with this set up like that, and then I'll open up the whole thing to them. It has been 28 days since Bao was bred to Paul Bunyan, our brand new silver fox buck. And I just got an alert on my phone, or reminder on my phone. It's time to give Bao her nest. Is everything okay in here? Are they being mean to you? You stop biting his ears. No, Flynn, no, 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 no. You bite me, that's fine. Your poor friend. Be kind. These little jerks, I swear. Leave his ears alone, you guys. I know it's a novelty. Oh my goodness. Come here, baby. I know, they're so mean. Anyway, back to the task at hand. Giving Bao her nest box. I think this will be, I forget what number kindling, but we've only had Bao kindling for a little while. She's one of my youngest does, and when I revamped the rabbitry from my Californians to my silver foxes, I think I'm going to hang on to Bao at least for a little while. Watch out, man. You wanna get ready? She's gonna wait for us to leave. That's okay. These guys need to hurry up and wean. Poor sausage. She's about had it with her 9 babies. How are you guys doing? You ready to move on?
I'm actually thinking about bringing back my lawn tractors for the rabbits. This has been a very dry year. We're actually still behind on rain, even though we have gotten some in the last little bit. But one of the reasons that I did elevate my rabbits up off of the ground was I'm mostly raising the rabbits during the cooler months when we just are muddy outside. We don't get particularly cold here. We do have cold snaps here and there, but because our winters are relatively warm, like the ground doesn't freeze, and we usually have a ton of mud. And we usually have a lot of mud like through May, but it's been really dry. It's been really nice out, and so I'm thinking about putting these guys out on the grass, and I think they'll appreciate that. But I need to acclimate them to the greenery. They're not really used to it. They get treats here and there, but I need to kind of up that so that when I stick them out on the grass, it's not like a shock to their system. I just mowed, but of course there are some longer spots. It's quite a few of them. There should be plenty. I know you want some, Mama. Look at her. There you go. Trying not to lose fingers, that's all. Good girl. Put her foaming at the mouth. You're insane. You both are. Oh, Chloe. Luffy, you're getting huge. You guys remember cookies. I know you do. I know you do. Handsome boys. There you go. You guys settling in okay? They are. Yes, you are. You watch that pig, okay? If only she had 3 teeth, huh? Be a lot easier. See Elvis's new bling? We had someone send us 2 collars. Thank you. Elvis got one of them, and then Gail got the other one. You look so fancy. You're so fancy, girl. Look at this nice grass. Beautiful, beautiful. That is far fewer goats, isn't it? Look. It just looks like a lot less. I mean, there's 3 over there. And there's even some kids out here that ultimately we're not keeping. This little guy, he's going in the freezer. And then his brother is also going in the freezer. This guy is going to go to his new home in about a week. And then that little dude, he's going in the freezer. Okay, but can you guys see how high her little baby udder is? Oh my gosh, Fable. I'm usually not one to be able to tell udder quality on juniors, but I feel like, lift your tail, girl. Can you see it? Huh? Oh, so cute. It's so cute, isn't it? So cute. She's like, nah. I'm thinking about putting at least Tonka and Fable in the MDGA virtual show this year. I mean, look at her. You can see like where she's got little attachments to her udder already. She's gonna walk away. But you can see that, right? Am I crazy? They're seeding this field across the street right now. The guy in the tractor is probably looking at me with my camera up a goat's butt like, what is she doing? Yes, your front end is very nice too. We're gonna have to see how much these girls grow by September. I don't really like to breed the minis if they are under 80 pounds. I think I've bred at 60 pounds before. I think Little Miss was 60 pounds and that worked out well even with a single buckling, but 80 pounds makes me feel the most comfortable. And so my 4 keeper does right here, Fable, Tatanka, Stella, and Goosey, they may reach that weight because I am just gonna leave them on their mamas. Literally nothing grows them faster than milk, and so they could be ready. We weighed Goosey. She's already 30 pounds, which, I mean, she's well on her way. And look how good Elpis looks. I mean, she's been nursing triplets. They each probably weigh at least 30 pounds. Pretty sure Stella, right there, I'm pretty sure she still weighs more than her sister. But look at her. She's kept such great condition. And I feel like I owe it all to that free choice alfalfa pellet, which their alfalfa feeder's full. And they're all out here grazing. One of the things I worried about with free choice alfalfa, if it was just gonna make them married to the barn and they wouldn't graze at all. No, they graze all the time. You smell cookies on my fingers, don't you? You guys are nuts. Good morning. Normally I water on Wednesdays and Sundays, but the forecast yesterday, which was Wednesday, looked like we were supposed to get rain overnight, and we didn't. You can see it's cloudy out right now. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna trust it. I'm gonna water. That means that it will rain. That's the rule. But if you don't water, it won't rain. Everyone's resting right now. We still have all the chicks that they sent us. No losses as of right now. So there was a total of 5 extra birds, which is really cool. I appreciate that. I use Cackle Hatchery. Potato sprouts. Not gonna lie, I was kind of starting to worry about the potatoes that they weren't coming up, but usually the second that I start to worry, that's when they pop up. Look at how big the squash seedlings are already in just a few days. So crazy. I've gotten little trash cans over all of them to help protect them from the birds. And pretty soon Levi's gonna come out here and put up some more panel trellising. I don't really want to purchase more. This is really expensive, but I do have kind of weird shape and size pieces of panel that are plenty strong enough, and we're gonna slap those up here hopefully this coming week. Yeah, can I help you? You guys are doing well. They really have not had any problems integrating in with the boy herd. Part of that probably is, number one, it's not breeding season, so there's not like a lot of competition going on, and there's like plenty of resources. Look at how big these tomatoes are getting. Got the drip irrigation going on the lane right now. This is actually the first time I've run it for a full watering cycle. And we've got drips all the way down here at the end. And that was the hope. But what I had to do was run that main line all the way up the full 100-foot lane, and that's what it needed. Someone commented on the video where I had been trying to troubleshoot what was going on here on the lane, and they said this 1/4-inch microtubing can only really water about a 30-foot length of tube before it runs out of pressure. So good information to know. That's that for this week as far as things that are going on the homestead. Obviously, we are not slowing down anytime soon. It is the busy season after all, so we'll have a lot more going on next week. I'll see you guys again soon.